everyone. Nathaniel, who tried to help a boy by giving him his tripod doll, and his mother did not notice the situation. While he was talking to the woman, the man got angry because he was not good enough to talk to his wife, and then he was beaten. Nathaniel decided to keep quiet and let him be beaten because if he defended himself, it was considered fight the white man and would be penalized because they thought black people were lazy, violent, and evil. Non-verbal issues sounds. Non-verbal responses that are appropriate and that can hamper. Example, and huh are signs of paying attention, and other cultures find its employed and eye contact. So, how about in this part? In the video, two black people are shown who are locked up, and one of them refers to it. He protests against the punishment given by his master in a way that was very painful to most people. Black people can argue to what white people do because they will be punished cruelly. They are slaves and laborers who must work in the agricultural sector. This happened only in the south of America, not in the north of America, because the large-scale agricultural sector only applies in the south. Culture patterns marriage. Culture patterns, also called as value orientation, it is a broad generalization used to characterize a culture's values. Refers to culturally based beliefs, values, attitudes, and behaviors shared by members of a particular culture. Marriage. The cultures of marriage between white people and African Americans is different. The black race recognized the marriage as valid. By the way, the couple had to jump over the broom, and the people around them would surround them to celebrate the marriage. They will sing and dance together. White people recognize their marriage by making the priest their mediator, and swearing an oath of allegiance, and already about the way the wearers and their conscience are different because they are the neighbors. Perception unequal. In intercultural communication, perception along with the accessory skills of perception checking often stretch interpersonal communication is necessary for the intercultural communication process perception. Perception is more of a process where by each of us creates mental image of the world that surrounds us. That is of the world out there. From Green, Fairchild, Knudsen, and Liz Gabbard, 2018. So, this part about unequal. When Nathaniel wanted to read a book in his lady's room, he thought not that the book was for white people and not suitable for his race. The white race has considered the black race, or the cause African Americans as a slave race, but for their race a noble race, and this thinking is inherited until now, so that there is inequality and one side justice. Another side, Nathaniel, a black man, cannot forgive a white man's sins, even if he is a bastard, because they are not equal. Motivation, a communicator wants to be part of a successful intercultural encounter. Motivation, also being motivated and having a positive attitude, can bring positive results. Nathaniel works as a priest for his master, Samuel Turner, to give advice to his own black people to listen to his master's orders and give words of encouragement. After seeing the very terrible corruptly happening in front of him, then Nat gave words of encouragement and continued to pray and pray for the cause of the white race with full of sarcasm. Nathaniel is God's messenger to defend his people, because that why he is the only black race who become a priest in the area, and is the initiator of the revival of a nation, and his struggle is always continued. Before the end, I want to tell you about a brief history of the arrival of black people to Europe. The Portuguese were the first countries to arrive in Africa. They were addressed by the word of the land there and also by the slaves. Because labor is needed in Europe and slaves are good, the Portuguese bought slaves in Africa and sold them to Europe. Then England, Spain, France, Holland, and Denmark also do the same thing. How can Europeans make Africans their slaves? In Africa, the practice of slavery among them has become a culture, because among the tribes in Africa they often fight, so the loser will become a slave. The kings of each tribe also sell slaves. From the 16th to the 19th century, 12 million slaves from Africa were sold. What is the fate of Africans, or better known, black people in America? The Africans who had been there for a long time before were not slaves, but as laborers working in the field. In 1705, they began to separate black people from white people. Black people cannot have weapons. The judgment is also different and cannot be the master of white people. This happened because their population is very large. The practice of slavery occurs a lot in South America because there is a lot of labor in agricultural sector.